Char Margolis, Char Communications Incorporated, and Char Vision LLC do not endorse or offer for any purpose but entertainment the views of any guest or other expert on Char Vision or UBN.
I knew things before they happened from the time I was a child. At the age of 8, I saw a spirit at the foot of my bed and didn't know what it was. And in my 20s, I finally realized I had a special ability that could help others. I have learned that love never dies. There is a spirit world that can communicate with us, and we all have the gift of intuition. Join me, and together we will explore the possibilities of the unknown from beyond and more. This is Char Vision.
Hello, everybody. It's Sunny and Char, and it is the summer of 2017. And today, I am going to be interviewing Brad Olsen. And Brad is the author of 9 books, including 2 in his esoteric series, Modern Esoteric and Future Esoteric. And hey, Brad, are you there? Hey, Brad.
Hi, Char. I'm here.
We're so excited to have you here. So, Ancient Aliens and America on Earth and Mysteries of National Parks. Have you been on all those things?
Those are TV shows that I've been on, yeah. And
wow.
Many of them were on location at different places.
And coast to coast?
Several times, yeah.
Wow.
Just a month ago.
Oh, there's so much to talk about. But so tell us about the esoteric series and what is the future esoteric?
Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series. It starts with Modern Esoteric, which is looking back to all the antediluvian civilizations here on the planet, spanning about 1 million years of habitable time that could include such thing as giants, and that was my workshop at Contact in the Desert a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And it could have included ancient aliens. It could have included a lot of people. This has been a garden planet for a long time. Well, so Modern Esoteric is the long march through history up to this modern age, where Future Esoteric takes a forward-looking stance and gets into a lot of the ET and UFO and secrecy state issues surrounding that very intriguing topic.
What about the Lemurians? Are those the giants you're talking about, the lost Lemurians?
Well, there was a Lemurian civilization predating Atlantis.
Right.
They could have been the giants. We're not really sure who they were. Perhaps the Nephilim out of the Bible speaks of giants. My workshop was primarily concerned with the skeletal remains in North America, as well as some very telling hieroglyphics from Egypt, showing that they were like a priestly caste here in North America and buried in quite elaborate mounds that were largely excavated in the 19th century and 20th century.
Do you know if they found any near Mount Shasta?
The mounts, or the very old giants that I know of, are primarily down in San Diego.
Oh,
and
where?
As well, and you'll find this very interesting, Char.
Yeah.
Just about a month ago, they were examining some mastodon bones down in a cave in San Diego that's quite well known. They did a carbon dating on the mastodon bones, which showed saw marks on it that could have only been done by humans with tools.
Wow.
130,000 years old now. We have just dated human habitation of the North American continent much, much further back than anyone had anticipated. Before that, it was the Clovis culture, which was only about 30 or 40,000 years.
Right.
And was a bit of a ridiculous notion. So the whole idea of humans coming over the land bridge and colonizing North America, yeah, there you go, goes way back. And then see, one of those headlines is Smithsonian Gate. And unfortunately, they would swoop in like the FBI detective and say, Smithsonian here, we'll take care of the evidence. And away it would go. And unfortunately, this was the case for many, many years and continues to be so. But enough evidence has been found, as well as bones and now DNA testing, to show that these were non-humans living concurrently with Homo sapien types. And they've been found on all continents all around the world.
And you're saying that the government's hiding it?
I'm saying Smithsonian in North America certainly has been covering this up, and there are reports that they would even, this is a while ago in the 19th century, take cargo loads of artifacts and skeleton bones and dump them in the Atlantic. They just did not want this to compete with their human-centric view, maybe a biblical influence as well. But I mean, the Bible talks about the Nephilim, so it shouldn't be that difficult to understand that other species had lived on this continent.
Well, what is the secret government, and what are their primary motives?
Well, certainly this is coming into now more recent times, especially the last century.
Right.
But I think it's really vital for people to understand the secret state before we can delve into UFO dynamics or study of ETs, exopolitics, because it's been a concerted effort to keep this covered up for a very long time, at least for the last 70 years. And the reason is it's a very simple motive. One explanation in journalism is if you can't make sense of a story, follow the money. And this is where the missing trillions have gone, by the way, into these black projects, into this secret space program. But it only makes perfect sense that after World War II, the great superpowers were scrambling to get this high technology and would basically sell out at any cost to get it. And this is how it's become so compartmentalized. But I've got to tell you, Russia has been in on it too, and even China. I mean, Russia has their own alien autopsy video, alien crash with military all around, filmed from different angles, which would be very, very hard to fake.
Wow. And
as well as a data dump of information that came out of the Kremlin after Soviet Union collapsed. It was like you could go into the CIA headquarters with a suitcase full of money and come out of there with some really important data surrounding ETs.
Oh my. Okay, so who did I read recently is trying to get to Mars?
Buzz Aldrin. Get your ass to Mars.
No, some countries trying to get to Mars before we do.
Well, China has an effort. I think Russia has their eyes on getting up there, and we keep putting these rovers up that look remarkably similar to an Arctic landscape up in Canada.
Right. Well, okay, so obviously we're not being told everything there is to know about aliens and about UFOs.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. So have you encountered one?
Well, I've had a sighting, and it's interesting you brought up Mount Shasta because I was with some backpackers in 1997. In fact, they flew me up there last year to do Mysteries of the National Park and recount this sighting I had with a few other backpackers. And it was basically a streak of light that was perfectly soundless for many seconds, going slowly across the sky, a bright streak with no beginning and no ending. And then it just went into the depths of the lake. But before it disappeared, it broke up into these perfect square blips and just went right into the depths of the lake. We just fell to the ground laughing, discussing, saying what we saw was exactly the same as the others. We started running up the hill to go meet our friends to see if they had seen it. And we saw it again right over Mount Shasta. So it was like 2 visits within minutes. And that was in the beginning of my book, Future Esoteric, is saying, after this experience, I know what I saw. I can still remember it like it was yesterday. Well, but when I got back from that trip, all I wanted to do is try to figure out what it was and what was it about that area. Now I know that there's an underground city there called Telos, and very advanced beings that have been there. I've heard most of them have moved to the Yukon to another location because they were getting too much harassment from our government. But I climbed Mount Shasta that same year in 97, and but no experience with Philos, who is supposed to be this master who manifests on the hill mountainside and takes people in if he feels like they're of a right space. Have you ever heard of that?
No, but I did have an experience at Mount Shasta.
Oh, what was that?
Well, did you know that they at one time they wanted to make it a ski resort, and they built a road going up and around, but they stopped in the middle of construction?
No, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I asked about Mount Shasta. I don't think I was being so psychic. It's only because I had an experience there.
Okay.
But basically, the car flew up in the air and bounced down like a pogo stick.
Oh, wow.
And it was up and down and up and down. And when I went to open the door, if I would have walked out, I would have fallen off a cliff. And my feeling is that I was with somebody else who was not, after I found out, wasn't really pure. And I feel like it wasn't the right energy for me to research and know more about it at that time.
So it was like a game-changing event for you too.
It was huge.
As it was for me at that same location. Just really about 30 miles south is where Crater Lake is. But you can see Mount Shasta quite clearly on a clear day.
But you can see those beings. They're, especially if you're psychic, which I am, right?
Oh.
So you can see the outlines of those tall beings there.
Oh, wow.
Like
what do you call them?
I thought they were the lost Lemurians, but I don't know.
Well, the Lemurians, as I know it through several books from the East, including some Tibetan books, is that they were primarily, not to say exclusively, but primarily underneath the Tibetan plateau in Asia.
Well, you know more about it than I do. I was just told many, many years ago, someone wrote this book that not many people have, and they said the lost Lemurians were under Mount Shasta, and they lived in the land under the land.
Yep.
So
the underground people. And I wrote a book called Sacred Places North America, and of course, Mount Shasta is the king of all mountains on this continent.
It is,
as
right?
far as sacred holy places. And the Native Americans recognize that for thousands of years.
Are you going back there?
Pardon me?
Are you going back to Mount Shasta?
I think I will go up there this summer because I want to get up to Oregon for the eclipse on August 18th.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
And
there's a big eclipse on the 21st, isn't there?
Well, I think it's full solar eclipse on August 18th. And one of the buzzes around Contact in the Desert this year among some of the speakers and people that were there was that August 18th could be the moment when the ships show themselves, because everybody's going to have their cameras trained on the eclipse, and it'll basically be daytime going completely dark. And if something is going to be seen in a mass sighting type of event, what better place? And then it could just span right across not only the continent. And this eclipse is very special because it's the first time this has happened in about 150 years.
But I was told it's
a full solar eclipse across the entire continent of North America,
right,
from coast to coast. And then it'll be in other places around the world too. So it could be a real global affair.
Is it only on the 18th? Because I was told it's August 21st.
I'm almost positive it's the 18th. Somebody has, we could Google it real quick if you want me to.
Wait, I think Tony's Googling it.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, people watching at home, in case you're watching this on YouTube, we're talking about August of 2017.
To the 21st. But it is certainly only a one-day event, and it only lasts for a matter of minutes.
And you know what day that is? It's my birthday.
Hey.
Yeah, it's exciting. Wow. So it is the 21st. So, okay. So, I mean, you're just so fascinating. What was the New Berlin? And where was it located? And what happened to the Third Reich after World War II?
Well, this is how the secret state began. This is how I began my book, Future Esoteric, because we really have to understand who the players are and what their mode of operation is, and also follow the money. Once again, after World War II, a lot of the gold of Europe disappeared. A lot of people don't know this. Same with, as well as many treasures of Europe, from paintings to artifacts, including the Spear of Destiny, is this famous spear that was supposedly used in the crucifixion against Christ. And this is what Hitler used in their occult way of keeping a superior army. But the dark side failed and they lost the war. But a lot of the money just went poof, gone, out of the gold.
And nobody knows where?
To South America, as well as this base 322, which is in Antarctica. And the other big talk of the show at Contacting the Desert was what's going on down in Antarctica right now. And I've heard this from sources many years ago that there is a big, massive mothership. And pictures that I've been privy to that I've used in Future Esoteric came from this guy who worked in the EU Secret Service, as we would call it here in America. And he was able to get photos out. And he showed me these years ago, 5-7 years ago. And it is this crevice, and you can see this giant craft down there and people standing up. You can get the size of how massive it is. And you don't even see it all the way around. You're just seeing like a cutout of it. So it's called the Illuminati Disneyland, and that's why all the rich people are going down there now, and heads of state, Putin, Obama. Kerry was there on election day.
Tony's got the pictures up for you on the screen.
Say again?
Tony has the pictures up on the screen.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Oh, we lost it again?
Yeah, this is it. That's it.
How big is it?
Massive. 3 miles across. And get this,
amazing.
Underneath it are tropical trees and ferns. So when it crashed, it was a long time ago before Antarctica was in the position it's in. So the thinking right now, the buzz of Contacting the Desert is this is Atlantis. This was it. And during the last pole shift, this part of this continent just shot down the Atlantic mid-ridge to its present course. And when the continents were moving around, it needed some stability on the southern continent, and it shifted into place. And that's where it's been. And part of my talk on the giants is I showed some ancient maps of Antarctica, Puri-Reis map, the Botch map, a couple others, and then comparing it to the ice-free version of what Antarctica would look like without the ice. And there are ancient maps that show it without the ice. Well, how did they know that? How could they possibly have known that?
Right.
So this is the big mystery of Antarctica, as well as the Nazis smuggling quite a bit of scientists, money, loot from Europe, as well as quite possibly Hitler himself, who may have faked his death in Berlin and lived out the rest of his years either in New Berlin in Antarctica, is what they called it in the 1930s, when they were setting it all up, or more likely in his compound in Argentina. And Argentina has been a fascist state for many decades. That's what the whole dirty war was all about. That's what our CIA went in there and overthrew a democratically elected government to install the fascist state. And there has been this interaction with the Fourth Reich. The Fourth Reich is here in America. That's why we are now modeling so much of what the Third Reich was doing in Germany 70, 80 years ago. We're getting it right here, right now, and that's because there was this Nazi infiltration in North America, and the fleeing Nazis created their own compound. So here in North America, in the U.S., we had Project Paperclip, where it's now fully declassified. We know that hundreds of not only scientists that worked on the space program, started NASA, Werner von Braun, Obrecht, and others, but you had their spy masters coming over here who should have been on trial in Nuremberg for war crimes, yet they're coming here to start up the CIA and all of our covert alphabet agencies. A guy who was spying on the Soviets was a very important agent to have over here to spy on the Soviets. And that's how the whole Cold War thing started.
But you're saying it's all connected to aliens as well?
In the big picture, yes. And that's what Bill Cooper used to say.
How do you connect it to the big picture?
Bill Cooper used to say in his talks, you put the aliens into the middle of this stuff and you get all the answers. And in this case, you do. The woo-woo subject cannot be ignored. It fits into all of it. It fits into the Nazi occult dealings with these malevolent ETs. They were the first to make agreements with them for technology. Once again, just like our generals hoard ourselves out to get the technology too. That's how the abduction thing has stayed covered up, how the animal mutilation thing has stayed covered up, and how they have bases right here on this North American continent to this day. And the place is called Dulce, New Mexico, under the Archuleta Mesa. It's a very old base. It's what I call a legacy base, and I know of about a half a dozen around the world. ET has been here. They've always been here, and these malevolent ones who have this idea that they can control all the surface-dwelling humans have been quite successful for thousands of years. But now we know the game is up, and now we know how they do it, and even where they're at.
So are Earth people getting their technology? I mean, what's going on?
Well, we have, but it's been sequestered into these black operations, which became the secret space program. This is where we're at now. Oh, good. There we go. Dulce. So that's...
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the town of it, and then there's probably some openings. I've heard of several.
And what are the secret sciences?
Well, this is also what's been sequestered and held from us. And this is when we get into some of the more exotic propulsion technology. I have a chapter in Future Esoteric called To Fly a UFO, and the basic, all the data points of how it's done, anti-gravitics, 0-point energy. But you have to understand, it's not so much that the powers that be are so afraid of saying, UFOs in the sky, they're here.
Right.
They don't care about that so much. They don't even really care about the little green men so much. It's the questions that come after that, such as, how did they get here? Right. Did they use rockets like we use? Or do they have something much more exotic?
Right.
And something that would also provide free energy that they could use as propulsion. And that would revolutionize everything on this planet and make the energy industry obsolete. So again, follow the money. Those people don't want to go bankrupt. They're going to cover this up at all costs.
Oh, it's kind of like the AMA.
They're in on it too with the depopulation agenda. And so I leave no stones unturned in my esoteric books, and that's why I'm working on a third and final right now to just put it all the chapters that I didn't have space for, and even things that are happening right now. I mean, when a lot of people, when they think of esoteric, they think, well, the occult and sort of the secret societies, knowledge, which is true. The Illuminati kept a lot of this stuff. And all the way back to the mystery schools of ancient Egypt and Greece, where only a select few had access to this information. And that's the true nature of the word esoteric, is that it's available to a select few. When it becomes knowledge that everybody has, then the word changes. It becomes exoteric. So for my entire life, I've been very fascinated with the information that is not so widely touted or we learn about in school. And some of the subjects in future esoteric and modern esoteric concern the human body and our potential. And so much of that has been withheld from us.
Well, does that also have to do with electromagnetic energy and the healing that it can, that's going to be the future medicine, is electromagnetic medicine.
You got that right. And frequencies and sounds, and as you said, electromagnetic pulsings. Right now I'm using ozone to just nuke out all the bacteria and
that
fungus
works.
And mold.
The ozone shots, you're getting those?
With it in the air, yeah.
Those are amazing.
They are amazing. I just did my bedroom. I just got my machine a couple days ago. I did my bedroom yesterday. Woke up this morning and it felt like mountain air, that I was camping out at 10,000 feet. It was so fresh.
But they also give you shots.
There is that too. Yeah, I haven't tried that.
My medical doctors who do holistic work do those.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, in Dr. David Brownstein. He's pretty phenomenal.
And there you go. I mean, another form of new sciences that's just emerging. And we're on the cutting edge of all this stuff.
But they don't want people to know about it because it's going to take away
they don't want us to live to 120 or even 200 years old. They want us to drop dead at 50, which some of my friends are already starting to happen to. There is a depopulation agenda, and this is what pisses me off. And it's anti-human, meaning it's working with these malevolent ETs that are at the top of the pyramid. They are the invisible masters. All the human and even part Anunnaki or reptoid ruling class, the royal family, all these people that feel they have a divine right to rule, they report to the top ones, these Draco reptilian ETs. Right. This is what it's all about, and this is what the human race has to understand and wake up to, because they're doing it to us. They're chemtrail in our skies. They're poisoning our food. They're putting fluoride in the water.
So do you think that when people become president of the United States, they know nothing about this and then they learn about it?
I like what the comedian Bill Hicks said.
What did he say?
Every time a new president comes into office, they sit him down in a darkened room, in a theater room. They turn down the lights, and they play the Zapruder film of Kennedy getting shot. They don't say a single word. They turn on the lights, and they say, "Mr. President, any questions?" Because it is the CIA and the deep state that really run this country and are trying to run the entire world. They have got a pretty good grip on Europe and the Western world, but now Putin's given them a run for their game. No wonder there's so much fake news saying, "Oh, Russia hacked our election." How do you even do that? Don't we have minds for ourselves to figure this stuff out?
I don't know. It's all that's way beyond me. I just talk to dead people. Well, I want to know, who are the men in black?
Well, then once again, you put the aliens in the middle of this stuff and you get all the answers. There is a war on for this planet, and a war on for our minds, our perception of what it's all about. And this is hugely important to understand, that we have been withheld from so much information. I've heard upwards of 90% of the most important information that could benefit mankind, humankind, has been withheld from us. And this is so wrong.
Like what?
Well, for example, the men in black. Who are these people? What is the nature of a hybrid being? Do you know the answer?
No.
Well, it could be what the men in black are. And why aren't we having a discussion about human genetics being used in certain kind of ways?
Like bionic people?
What people?
Bionic.
Well, that's kind of like the $6 million man, and that's some breakthroughs in medicine. No, what I'm talking about, remember about 30 years ago when they cloned Dolly the sheep? 30 years ago, it was in the news. It was a big deal. We have our first cloned animal, okay?
Yes.
That's 30 years ago. We have the technology to clone humans now, too. But since it gets into this really shady kind of pseudoscience and what have we become, and transhumanism and human 2.0, and maybe we're even evolving or possibly devolving into a different species altogether. Wow. And that when you take the human genome, we have the technology as humans already. You don't even have to put the aliens in the middle of this stuff, but if you want to, you can see how far this could go.
So do you believe in our lifetime that we will be made aware of the aliens, or they'll make themselves known in a bigger way?
Well, that could be on your birthday, Char, on August 21st, when we get the full solar eclipse. They could make themselves known. They would force the discussion, not only in this country, which absolutely needs to be having this discussion, but really around the world. And anybody that cannot tell that millions of videos at once showing, like we saw in Antarctica, maybe a mothership 3 miles long, just kind of following the totality all along, and everybody's filming it and seeing it. But other people are saying it's coming this year. September is what James Gilliland of the East City Ranch is saying he's hearing. I published a book. I'm also a book publisher. I do Leo Lion-Zagami's books. He's an author in Italy. His second book, called Confessions of an Illuminati, that's again why I have a lot of information on this. I'm his editor and work on these books and know his material very well. His second book was all about the New World Order getting their entire grid set up by 2020. And if they don't, it spectacularly collapses. and this includes the Vatican and the Pope and all the institutions that have held humanity in this slavery grip for so long. And again, it's a battle for our minds, Char. It's all about the perception that we either know or we don't know.
So
and that's why I think these esoteric subjects could actually help people live much better lives, just knowing what's going on here.
What can we do to help save mankind as we know it? Is there like a one answer to that?
It's 3 words, and it's the headline on the back of Modern Esoteric.
What is it?
Revolution is consciousness.
Evolution is consciousness.
The revolution is consciousness.
Revolution.
Yes.
Is consciousness.
But our evolution is consciousness too. That's a good one.
Oh,
that's
maybe,
also true.
Maybe that was a Guardian slip.
A Guardian slip. I love it.
You know, Brad, I could sit and talk to you for hours. Would you come back on the show?
Yeah, absolutely, Char. Anytime.
Let's do this after August 21st.
Hey, you got it.
I
think we'll have a lot to talk about.
Like in autumn, maybe in the autumn, maybe like the end of September or something like that after the September stuff going on.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And hopefully I'll be up there and maybe you too to witness the eclipse ourselves. Might not be a mothership. Maybe it's a whole bunch of shooting stars. Maybe it's just the totality event that's so amazing and creates a collective consciousness among people. Who knows? It could be a lot of things.
But energetically, it just seems like it's a time where it's giving us hope for some healing.
Yeah.
In some way, whatever it is, there's something that everybody knows about, and it's happening. I mean, astrologically, it's happening. So that affects all of us.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Brad, you're fascinating, and I can't wait to talk to you again, and have a safe journey to Mount Shasta. I want to hear all about it.
Well, that'll be when I drive up to go to the eclipse party, and there's another thing I do is I produce a street fair called the How Weird Street Fair. We just did it a few weeks ago. One of our stages is Symbiosis, and they're doing a big event up at a lake in Oregon where they will be right in the middle of the apogee, I think is the word, right in the middle of the path. So it's about 6-7 minutes of totality where day turns into night, 7 minutes, and then it changes back again, and a big raging party all around.
Amazing.
That's where I hope to be. But this weekend I'm heading up to Humboldt County. A friend of mine has a cabin in the Redwoods.
And how can people get a hold of you or read your books and find you? What's the best way to find Brad Olsen?
We'll go to cccpublishing.com. You can check out all my books. There's a contact page there. You can follow me on Facebook. I have a Brad Olsen on Facebook. You can CCC Publishing on Facebook, Esoteric Series on Facebook. I also have an Esoteric Series YouTube channel. Follow me there.
Oh.
BradOlsen.com is my website.
BradOlsen.com. And are they all YouTube downloaded on BradOlsen.com?
No, I need to do that. I want to put all my videos up on that site. You have to go to my YouTube channel.
Okay, so your YouTube channel is what? Brad Olsen?
No, it's called the Esoteric Series.
Okay, so go to the Esoteric Series and find Brad Olsen's YouTube channel, because I'm sure it's fascinating. I can't wait to talk to you again this autumn.
Sounds good, Char.
Okay,
I'll make that a date.
Thank you so much. Be well.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. Okay, everybody, don't go away. I've got something special coming up. If you like what you've seen on Char Vision, then go to char.net and book a personal reading with me, or join a group reading, or join one of my workshops where I teach you to be psychic and intuitive. Hi, everybody. It's Char. Well, many of you have asked if I teach psychic intuition, and I do. Everybody has a sixth sense. Everybody has an ability to prevent problems and attain goals in their lives. And I'd love to teach you. Just go to char.net, CHARNET, and join one of my classes. And call Nikki, and she'll help you out. Remember, intuition will take you places logic never could. Hi, everybody. I'm back with Ellen. Hi, Ellen. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you. I appreciate you trusting me to read for you. So, I just need you to be open-minded about everybody, both living and deceased. And if more than one person share the same name or initial, if you could let me know that, it'll go more smoothly. Like, it's not logical. Somebody living with a middle name may have the same first initial as someone deceased, or the same name. So
Okay.
just try to be open about everybody. And I always say my prayer protection before I do this, if you don't mind, because there are good and bad spirits. And then we'll get started. We ask the universal consciousness and God that holds the highest spiritual power of knowledge, wisdom, and truth to guide and protect us as we communicate with our guides and angels in the spirit world and tap into the wisdom of the universe. We respect this opportunity and take full responsibility to use this not for ego or controlling others, but with the pure intention of spreading love and healing life on this earth and beyond. I'm seeing two things. I was seeing an M initial and then a J initial.
Yes.
Are they both people?
The M.
Is that a female?
No.
That's a male. Is he a Mike
No.
or an M-A-R?
Yes. Matt.
Matt, M-A. Don't say names.
Oh,
just say
sorry,
yes or no.
sorry.
But M-A. Okay, Matt. Is he deceased, Matt?
Yes.
Okay. Is this family to you?
Yes.
Is it a brother
No.
or a dad?
No.
Who is this?
My late husband.
Your late husband. I'm so sorry. Okay, it's your husband. He's definitely around you. I don't know I didn't give you his middle name initial though, but the first name's M-A and that's Matt. Okay, yeah, don't say names, just say yes or no. Okay. He's telling me that the reason you wanted to talk to me was to connect with him.
Yes.
And he's telling me that he's made himself known to you in your home. Do you ever like wake up in the middle of the night and think he's there, or have a very vivid dream of him
Yes.
and you go, and it feels like he's still alive?
Yes.
That's him visiting you and bringing you information. And does he ever come to you as in symbols, like anything of nature? Like some people see birds, butterflies, stars. I don't know, something of nature.
No. Not necessarily nature. But
Okay, well, he's showing me something about nature. So, was he cremated?
No.
He was buried. He was buried?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, this is the weirdest thing. Okay. I turned my phone off all week during my readings. Siri goes on by itself.
That's pretty strange.
Read what she's saying.
I'm not sure I understand.
No, did you see he's...
Oh, he's very, yeah, okay. Wow. That's,
Okay, I swear to you guys. I mean, I swear
just
I
watched
didn't
it. You
touch
didn't
it.
touch it.
I didn't touch it.
that's amazing.
Siri, during my readings this whole week, Siri's going off and the phone's on the other side of the room.
So I actually just thought of something.
What?
The other day, I
Yeah.
was at the cemetery.
And there was a butterfly, a bird, a what?
No, I was with our daughter, and there was a squirrel
A squirrel, okay.
that came right up, like literally not even a foot away from my daughter and I, and just stood there and basically stared us down, and it kind of scared me a little bit. It alarmed me. I
Okay,
had
so
to move.
I knew there was something of nature, and I didn't know what it
Yeah, I
was.
didn't think
I didn't
about
know
that for
what
a
it
second.
was, but I'm feeling like that might be his sign to you, was like the
was-
squirrel.
That was so interesting, but we were talking about somebody else, and I said to my daughter, maybe that's a sign, and she said, well, did he like squirrels? And I didn't
Oh.
think about it, but now
That's
that you're
fascinating.
saying that,
That's fascinating. What? There's an S or C?
there's an S.
A female S?
No,
Or
a male.
Is it ST?
Yes,
Steve?
yes,
Who's that?
that's my brother.
Is he deceased?
Yes, and that's who we were talking about with
Okay,
the squirrel.
that's why I asked if Matt was your brother, because I felt the energy of a brother deceased.
So your brother's here. So I don't know who the squirrel is, to be honest. I don't know if it's your brother or Matt, but one of them, they're using nature to connect with you in some way. Do you still have his toothbrush?
No.
Why is he showing me a toothbrush? Not your brother.
I don't know.
Why is he showing me a toothbrush?
I don't know a toothbrush. That doesn't make sense.
Is somebody having issues with their teeth?
I
Is your daughter?
no.
Are you?
I just was at the dentist the other day.
Oh, you were at the
That's-
dentist the other day.
right.
Okay, what? You had your teeth cleaned or what?
I did, and I lost a crown.
You lost a crown. Okay. He's talking about your tooth. He knows that you had an issue with your tooth.
He knows I was fanatical about
Teeth.
teeth. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. He's showing this to me. Okay. See, they show me, you guys at home listening, watching, listening. When I get things, I get it phonetically. So I it's like they're puzzle pieces I need to put together to try to figure out what the spirits are trying to tell me. Okay, so then he's showing me a cake. So there must be an anniversary or a birthday or just passed or coming soon.
So, not really.
What's in the summer? Or September?
That's our anniversary. September.
Your anniversary is September. Okay. I was going to say August or September. Okay.
September.
September's your anniversary. So he must be wishing you this anniversary happy. Who's Rose?
That's my mother's middle name.
Is she deceased?
And my daughter's middle name. Yes, my mother is.
Your mother's
deceased.
spirit's coming in. She's like pushing him aside.
Oh my gosh.
Your mother is here, and I feel like she loves that your daughter's named after her. And then they show me somebody who's an H.
Yes.
Is it a male?
Yes.
Like a Harry?
Yeah, Harold.
Harold. Is that your dad? Who is
That's
that?
my uncle.
Your uncle. From your mom or your dad?
My dad.
Okay. And then there's also somebody who's an A or L. Is there a Lewis or an Al or
Okay, so
Lillian?
Lila is
Lila.
my mom.
Lila's your mom.
And
okay.
Lewis is her dad.
Her dad. Okay, so
My
Lila's
grandfather.
here with Lewis. And are you expanding your work right now or reorganizing your business or reorganizing people or reorganizing how you do what you do?
Yes.
I feel like you're onto something. I feel, and you need to be patient with it, and you need to be positive about it, because it's definitely, it's going to come around to you in a positive way, in a good way. But don't. I feel like I'm supposed to tell you, don't be afraid to take chances.
That's good to know.
Don't be afraid to risk things. Don't. It's important to like allow yourself to grow in all the ways that you know how to grow with your work. And I feel like Matt feels bad that he's not there helping with the bills. So you had to like take over, right? You had to take everything over when he passed.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, he feels bad about that. And is there another C or S? There goes.
Uh-oh.
There goes. I swear to God, I'm not touching Siri.
What did it say?
Is there another CRS?
C-R.
I couldn't find any matching places.
I swear I turned this off. How did that happen?
C-R-S.
Okay, look it. It's on red.
It is. Yeah, it's shut.
You guys, it's on red. Okay, my phone's possessed with Siri. Siri is trying to take over my job. It's crazy. Okay. There must be somebody else that's a C or an R or an S. There must be, like, deceased or somebody besides Rose.
see.
Did you know your grandma's names?
Yes. Sally.
That's an S.
Okay, that's the S. Yeah,
That's
I wasn't
yes,
thinking.
Sally. Okay, don't say names, but that's okay.
Sorry.
So your grandma's Sally. So is that Rose's what your mom? I forgot what you said her first name. Lila's Lila Rose's mom is Sally.
Yes.
So they're all together now. Now they're all together, and then they're showing me the Star of David. So are you Jewish?
Yes.
Okay, and is there a David or just a Star of David? Okay.
Probably just the Star of David now. Yeah.
Now, is there anybody doing anything in the religious place? Like, was there a bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah? I mean, something religious.
Recently?
I don't know.
I just came back from Israel.
Oh, you just came back from Israel. That's it. That is so nice. I need to go there.
Yeah.
But so did you prayed there for Matt and your mom?
I did at the wall.
At the wall. Okay, that's what the religious thing is in the Star of David, and that's why they're showing this to me.
Blowing my mind
That's
right
so
now.
special.
Yeah.
That's so special. Where's your dad? Is he deceased, your dad?
Yes.
I didn't talk about him yet, though.
No.
He's not a P or T, is he? No.
No.
Who's Paul? Or Pauline or P, Phyllis, P. You don't know that person?
No.
Or is there someone living that's a Paul or a Pat or a P?
Yes.
Who's that? Is that a friend?
A friend.
Is his name Paul?
No.
Or Peter or Pat?
No.
Peter? Is that like a romantic friend? Oh, she's giddy. She's blushing. She's blushing. For those of you who are listening on KCOR and on UBN,
I'm a hopeful
Download.
romantic.
I feel like maybe I'm picking up on Peter because everybody's good with you growing and moving forward with your life. Like it's okay.
Are you getting anything else?
Yeah, but are you? Is it not going the way you want it to go?
That's correct.
Yeah, it's so well. At least you're trying. At least you're trying. Did you go online?
Yes.
Did you meet somebody online?
Yes, I've met a couple of people.
Just keep looking. Just keep open-minded and keep opportunities. Eventually, you'll meet somebody. What's in New York? Do you go to New York a lot?
I don't go a lot, but coincidentally, I have a client whose dates just changed. She's going to New York, and I'm contemplating going during that time. I'm trying to figure out my schedule.
I feel like if you go, it would probably be a good idea to go to New York. Not necessarily for the guys, but,
Right.
well, you never know, right?
Well,
What?
my daughter wants to go to school there. She has a couple of years, and I said to her, if I'm not in a relationship by that time, then I might move to New York. So it's kind of funny that you've
Well, New York is
picked up
around
on
you.
that.
New York is around you, and you might, but you would have to commute because you're needed. You can't just be in one. You need to be in Los Angeles as well. You need to be where the energy's happening, where the work is happening, where things are. But you could do, yeah, okay. So I'm seeing New York, and then I feel like you'll be in a relationship again one day. Just keep the doors open. And really, you're very focused right now on work and your daughter. So it's good that you're going out and seeing who's out there and what's out there. And then why did they just show me a room? Are you painting a room or redoing a room in your house?
I recently moved,
You-
and so I'm furnishing a new place.
Oh, so you're
I'm redoing everything.
okay. I feel like Matt knows that you moved. Were you worried that his energy wouldn't come with you?
No,
Because he is with you.
I always feel he is.
It's so sad that he died so young.
Yeah.
Did you also just put a picture up of him or reframe a picture or something?
Yes. So my daughter just put our wedding photo up in the frame in the living room
In the new house.
in the new house. So I found a storage box that had a bunch of photos.
Mm-hmm.
So she took a photo of him and put it in her room in a frame, took our wedding photo, put it in our living room,
Mm-hmm.
and took another photo of the two of them at Disneyland and put it in our hallway.
Okay, because he's showing me the photos that you are putting him in this house that he didn't live in.
Right.
And is there a fireplace
Yes.
in that living room?
Yes.
Is this an older house?
Not too old.
Not too old, but there's a fireplace there.
There is.
And also, is there a musical instrument in your home? Why am I seeing a musical instrument? Is there like a guitar or piano or drums or something?
So we got rid of the piano when we moved,
Oh.
but he played guitar and he had an amp, and I literally have just been debating on what to do with that amp. Like within this week, I kept thinking, what am I doing with this? Why am I hanging on to it? It's
Because he played guitar.
right, and I know, and his guitar I would never get rid of.
He's happy if somebody uses it. You don't have to keep it if you don't want to keep
But
it.
a relief.
He's happy as long as somebody's enjoying it. Yeah, and he really, I think he really liked having a piano in his house. You don't care, but he loved his piano, or he loved having a piano in the house. But your daughter stopped taking lessons, right?
Right.
And so it was just a piece of furniture that nobody cared about, and it never got tuned.
It got tuned. It never got used.
Never got used. Okay. Well, did you sell the piano? What'd you do with it?
So it's kind of a funny story, but I donated the piano, and when they came to get the piano, which was in perfect condition, they completely destroyed it, getting it out of the house, and they dropped it off the truck. And not only did they
no.
do that, they hit a car.
Oh, no.
They did it. So there's a piano story for
No
sure.
wonder he's talking about the piano.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
That you picked up on that is blowing my mind a
Really?
little bit, because he would have found humor in that.
well, I think he's very funny, and I think he's bringing in his sense of humor to the reading. And that's why these random things are coming up. But he just knows, he wants you to know he'll always be there. Like when it's your turn to go to the spirit world, your mom, your dad, your Matt, Steve, your brother, you won't be alone. And I feel like they're in a really nice neighborhood. So that's, like when we lose people, it's so sad for us. But when we know that they're in a really euphoric place that they love to be in, because not everybody goes to a good place, but he's in this euphoric place. They're all together. So maybe you won't have to be so sad when you do cross over when it's your time. Not that you're going anywhere. She's not going anywhere.
Let's hope not.
No, she's not going anywhere. I just met you.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere. You're lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Oh my gosh. Thank
Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you, Char. Thank you.
Okay.
You've blown me away.
Thank you so much. Well, everybody, that's it. Thank you for watching Char Vision. And remember, intuition will take you places logic never could. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.